Welcome back to the casting couch. Today we're going to talk freshwater fishing, land-based specifically in our local area. So by local I'm talking southwest, sort of from Waroona in the north all the way down to the south coast, places like the Warren River, Donnelly and the Pemberton Southern Forest region. So we've got heaps of options. Now is a great time of year to be considering your freshwater fishing, being the fact that the demersal closure's on, the weather's a bit sort of average for a few things, but we've got some really good weather happenings that really generate a bit of activity on the freshwater front. So rain, wind, all those things can really stimulate the bite and get the fish active. I'm going to break it down into two different sort of scenarios for the land-based fishing. We're going to talk open water, expansive dam and low current area fishing, and then we're going to talk streaming, creeks, anything that's got a bit of flow, rivers, etc. So I've got a couple of combos here to show you. What I might do is we'll start off with the creek, stream, river side of things, and I'll show you a little combo I've put together as a nice budget-friendly streaming outfit. So I've got the Nasci 500. So this is a tiny little reel that doesn't hold a lot of line. These are perfect lightweight reels that will accommodate nice fine braid, and I've paired that up with a 1 to 3 kilo Insalt Noodle Rod. This is the Fuji Rod Guide edition. So I'm not sure if you can see that. This thing is ultra fine, ultra light, designed for working small lures, and where casting distance isn't necessarily your number one priority. Good thing I like about this is the height of this rod. It's shorter than I am, so when I'm trudging through bush and blackberries and things like that, it's easily sort of broken in half. You could almost pop that in the backpack, stash that away for getting through without worrying about snapping the tip. I've got a selection of lures here I feel would work really well in those two environments, and there's a couple of crossovers. We'll start with those ones I think are specifically beneficial in the streaming, current and flow derived systems. One in particular, old school favorite, the old Shelter Classic spinner. These are great. You can pitch them down current and then work them back up against the current, so you can work them nice and slowly. That blade will just spin along in the flow, and then that way you can cover plenty of water and have that sort of running through eddies and along structure. Another little one that is ultra effective on both redfin and trout, the Z-Man ST plastics. So ST meaning split tail. Not sure if you can see that that has splitted tail, so that's offering a hell of a lot more action than the standard grub tails. I've chosen the Calico Candy as a great little imitation of things like yabbies and small redfin perch, even sort of mimics that stripe down the rainbow trout. So color wise I think that's a great selection. Pair that up with the split tail. This is a great option in that sort of hybrid creature bait grub style lure that's got plenty of action with minimal input. In areas of lots of current flow, that's what you want. You don't want lures that, you know, require a lot of finessing, a lot of action, because you don't have sort of big long areas to work. Another little cheat code that we like to throw, especially when it comes to trout and trout stocking, is a fly. So this is a trout egg fly with a tungsten weight. So these are a bit naughty. You can just pitch them out if you've seen a trout and let that float downstream and try and get that in front of the trout nose. Not overly complicated, but super, super effective. As well, if you're working some of those deeper, more expansive sections of river, you want something with a bit of cast distance. Things like the Rise Shad from Shimano is quite a big bibbed minnow. Cool thing about this guy is it will dive and sort of sit on about that angle, but as soon as you sort of let that tension off, it will rise to the surface. So running over logs and sort of foul, it does go sort of tail up, so sort of avoiding the hooks from foul, but also has that nice sort of slow rising action which will entice the bite. And also the double clutch. These work wonderfully well. I've chosen like a native minnow kind of imitation color there. That one in particular is chrome belly. I think that'll work really well, but you see how small the bib on that is. It's definitely gonna sort of be great in those more sort of shallow trout environments, because you can work that nice and shallow without getting fouled up. And then we'll move on to sort of the dams and sort of open expansive water with lower current flow. I've paired together a really cool Shimano combo. These rods, the Zodias rods, are nothing new, but I could not help myself and had to go on a little bit of a color match up with the brand new Vanford. Got on the 2500. These are just incredible. Reel of the show at after. These things are ultra smooth, amazingly sort of well engineered so that line lays fantastically. They come with an anti-twist fin. Not sure if you can see that just in the side there, but that actually allows the loose line as it's coming off the spool to stay in check, so that you're avoiding things like wind knots. The rod itself I've done with a 270 UL or ultra light. This one here is sort of designed to throw 1/16 to 1/4 ounce jig heads or 2 to 7 gram lures, so perfect for those sort of finesse lures. Bit longer at 7 foot, so you can punch a nice long way, and it's quite a fast action rod, so you've got a lot of responsiveness and you can make some amazing actions on various types of lures, whether it be hard bodies or plastics. A couple of lures I would sort of throw in that dam environment, and just a little tip when you're fishing sort of dams and open water. What I like to do is actually sort of take stock, have a bit of a look around and look at what the weather conditions are doing. My first port of call are always areas that look like they're recently flooded, so where you've got grass all the way to the water edge and it looks like the water levels have come up over that. Think of all the bugs, worms, things like that that'll be, you know, washing around. And also those wind blowing sides, so places where you have got the wind blowing straight into your face, so that's churning up all those bugs, all those things. So it's a natural burley, so that's the first place I'll start. When you are in those environments, you need lures that will cast well and also action well in the sort of windier environments. So things like the double clutch, again, work really well. They've got that small weight system. I'm not sure if you can see that sliding backwards and forwards. When you cast, that goes to the tail and you get an incredibly long cast for such a small minnow. Spinners again are a fantastic option. I would probably choose to use something like a Black Magic Spin Max. These things have got that little trembling, wobbling, vibing fish style weight on the back, so you get an additional sort of action out of that lure, as well as the bladed spinner that will vibe at the back and provide extra weight, so you can punch that spinner a nice long way. Plastic wise, in these environments I go for something a little more streamlined. I can throw something like a small paddle tail a lot further. This in particular is plastic we've just got into the store again recently. It's a Bait Junkie Black Ghost Red Belly, 2.5 inch paddle tail. You can see just by holding that how much action that's going to have in the water. If you have any questions, guys, please feel free to pop into the store. We're all getting our gear up to scratch and getting geared up, ready to go out for a few freshwater adventures. Come in store, see us. We're happy to help get you all those little 1%ers that are going to have success.